The Allegheny Journal found Jeff Dudley, the lead guitarist for On Common Ground. We've known Jeff for years, and many of you probably remember him as the lead guitarist for the Fender Benders. Jeff decided he'd come in today and talk about a upcoming performance at the Clifton Forge Moose Lodge this Friday. I think, Jeff, it starts at 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
So tell us a little bit about On Common Ground. You guys got together a year or so ago? And
Yeah, it was early last spring. Some of the members were in an existing band, and they broke up, and they were looking for some new members. And Bim started this band On Common Ground, so he contacted Bink. He knows Bink, and
Bink Jenkins
is the bass player for us, and
right.
he also plays for Moonshine Express.
Oh, okay.
So he asked him if he wanted to come and play. So then they were looking for a guitar player too, and so me and Bink tried out with him, and it worked. And so we joined up, and we really enjoy it. It's a good band.
These guys are great. I recorded them about a couple months ago, and I finally said, "Hey Jeff, come in and tell me a little bit more of what you guys are doing." And so the next time I saw Jeff, it was raining. It was pouring down. He's messing with his mixer, and all of a sudden, it keeps up. And you all of a sudden you thought, well, the rain's going to stop, but it didn't, and it kept up and ruined his mixer.
Killed it.
So he's certainly got good intentions. But guess what? On Friday, you get to play indoors.
Indoors. That's always a good thing.
And the Clifton Forge Moose Lodge is open to the public this Friday. I think it's a $7 cover, nothing like, and they can all come and have an iced tea with us.
Yeah. Long Island, or rather, whatever you want.
Tell us a little bit about your band members. You've got Gretchen Jamerson, Bink Jenkins, Bim Gardner, and Tony James.
Like I said, Bim, he used to live in Covington. He used to live in California, but he used to live in Covington, and he played in a band for years in the Roanoke area called Bananas at Large. And
Interesting.
yeah. And then him and Gretchen were in a band called Steel Rain, and that's the band that kind of disbanded. Of course, you know Bink. Bink's been around with Moonshine Express for a long time, and he played with the Fender Benders probably for 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
And then Gretchen, she was the lead, one of the singers in Steel Rain, and she's done some trio stuff before too with some other people. And Tony James, I'm thinking Tony was born in Baltimore area, and he has played with some bands in Baltimore that have opened up for some big name people back in the day. So
really?
He really brought a lot to the group with his keyboard capabilities, and he's funny. He's a real good, funny person when he's singing and playing the keyboard. And myself, I started playing the drums when I was 6, then started playing the guitar, and quit for 20 years, didn't do anything, then got back into it.
I didn't know there was a 20-year hiatus.
Yeah, I quit for, like I said, probably around 20 years, and I decided to get back into playing. And used to play with Steve Harold up here. He had several bands around
Steve,
here.
I believe, is a well-known local drummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and him grew up together. That's how he got started playing the drums, because I was learning the guitar and he had started playing my drums. And so I just wanted to start a band, and it used to be me and Steve Thrasher, one of the local deputy sheriffs, and Mikey Brown, his nephew, and then we've had several bass players through the years, and Bink was the last one. And then we used to have Jeff Hicks played keyboards with us. Of course, he passed away, it'll be 4 years ago in August.
Well, you guys definitely rocking it. I kid Gretchen when I see her. I say, Gretchen, when I hear you, it reminds me of Bonnie Raitt, and that normally brings a smile to her face. But the band really rocks. They're playing, as we mentioned, this week at the Moose Lodge, beginning at 8 o'clock. But before we go, Jeff, you have several other. The band seems to be really rocking lately and booking a whole bunch of new venues. Give us a feel for some upcoming events for you.
As of right now, the next event, we're playing in Buckhannon on April the 6th. There's a big farm in Buckhannon called the Freedom Farm. And last year they put on their first event called Freedom Fest. And what they do down there is they work with veterans who are suffering from PTSD syndrome. And they have horses, and these veterans work with the horses and stuff to, just to try to help them out. So we were playing at a brewery in Roanoke, I think in October, and the man and woman who owned the Freedom Farm were in there. And they heard us, and so they booked us on the spot to play for this Freedom Fest. But we're really looking forward to that. The first time out last year, they had over 800 people. They have vendors and all kind of stuff. So we're looking forward to doing that. And we're waiting to hear back. I think we're supposed to play for the Buchanan Fair. We're playing at some moose lodges in Lynchburg.
You're keeping busy.
Yeah, and there's a brewery in Lynchburg called I can't think of it.
We'll think of it.
But, the Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse.
We'll be playing there. So we've got several things. We'll be at the AET Sports Complex next June, and at the Rail a couple times, hopefully without the rain this time.
Well, at the end of this video, we'll have a brief list of where you can find Uncommon Ground. But secondly, Jeff, before we go again, I would call what you do, your music genres, rock, or it's not contemporary. How would you describe the music the band likes to play?
We just cover good old classic rock stuff we grew up listening to, because Gretchen's the baby of the group, so all of us other guys are up there in our 60s.
But this is dancing music.
Yeah, so it's all good music from our era, and we play some country covers and stuff. We'll probably be doing some maybe some original music coming up, and also,
I've been bugging Jeff. I want to hear some more original. He had an album which I don't think he really widely distributed it, but I saw heard some really great talent on there. So I've been bugging him about the last year to come in and talk about it. And then maybe we'll have another video and listen to some of that. But we very much thank you for coming in and sharing the good news about your band.
No problem. Thanks for having me.